Life's a game of chess, not checkers. And in this game, knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet can be your winning move. Today, we're going to talk about something that might seem simple, but powerful. It's about being silent in 5 key situations. Now, I'm not here to tell you to never speak up. No, that's not what this is about. It's about understanding that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to keep your mouth shut. It's about wisdom, about knowing when your words can lift you up or when they might just dig you into a deeper hole. Let's start with the first situation. When you're angry, you know that feeling when your blood's boiling, when you feel like you're about to explode? That's exactly when you need to zip it. Why? Because anger, it clouds your judgment. It makes you say things. You don't mean things you can't take back. I remember a time on set, early in my career, I was frustrated with a director. Felt like he wasn't giving me the direction I needed. I was about to let him have it right there in front of everyone. But something inside me said, Denzel, hold up. Take a breath. I'm glad I listened. Because later when I'd cooled down, I realized the problem wasn't with him, it was with me. I wasn't understanding what he wanted. If I'd blown up, I might have ruined a relationship, maybe even hurt my career. So next time you feel that anger rising, remember? Silence is your friend. Take a deep breath, count to 10, do whatever you need to do. But don't let those angry words out. They're like bullets. Once they're out, you can't take them back. The second situation where silence is golden, when you don't have all the facts. In this world of instant information, everyone's in a rush to be the first to speak, the first to have an opinion. But here's the thing. Half-baked knowledge is dangerous. It's like trying to build a house with only half the materials. It's going to fall apart. I learned this lesson the hard way. Early in my career, I heard a rumor about a co-star. Without checking, I repeated it to someone else. Turns out it wasn't true. Not only did I look foolish, but I also hurt someone's reputation. That taught me a valuable lesson. If you don't know, don't speak. So next time you're tempted to chime in on a topic you're not sure about, pause. Ask yourself, do I really know what I'm talking about? If the answer is no, then it's time to listen, not speak. Use that time to learn, to gather information. Because knowledge, real knowledge, that's power. Now let's talk about the third situation. When you're tempted to make excuses, we all face setbacks, we all make mistakes. It's part of being human. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't, it's not about never failing. It's about how you handle those failures. I remember auditioning for a role I really wanted. I didn't get it. And man, I had a list of excuses ready. The room was too hot. I didn't sleep well the night before. The script wasn't good enough. But then I caught myself. I realized that all those excuses, they weren't going to change anything. They weren't going to make me a better actor. So instead of making excuses, I stayed quiet. I went home, I looked at my performance honestly. And you know what? I saw where I could improve. That silence, that refusal to make excuses, it made me better. That pushed me to work harder, to be better prepared next time. So when you're faced with a failure, a setback, resist the urge to make excuses. Stay silent. Use that energy to reflect, to improve. Because excuses, they might make you feel better for a moment, but they won't move you forward. The fourth situation where silence is key, when you're tempted to gossip. Now, I know gossip can be tempting. It can make you feel like you're in the know, like you're part of something. But let me tell you, gossip is a trap. It's a pit that's easy to fall into, but hard to climb out of. I've been in Hollywood for a long time, and I've seen careers and friendships destroyed by gossip. People who were once close, torn apart because of words that should never have been said. And here's the thing. When you gossip, you're not just hurting the person you're talking about. You're hurting yourself too. Think about it. When you gossip, what are you really saying about yourself? You're saying you can't be trusted. You're saying that you'll betray confidences for a moment of attention. Is that really how you want people to see you? So next time you're tempted to share that juicy piece of gossip, stop. Ask yourself, is this kind? Is this necessary? Is this true? If the answer to any of these is no, then it's time to keep quiet. Use that energy to lift people up instead of tearing them down. Because at the end of the day, your character is defined not just by what you do, but by what you choose not to do. And now we come to the fifth and final situation where silence is crucial when you're winning. Yeah, you heard that right. When you're on top, when things are going your way, that's when you need to be the most careful with your words. Success, it can be intoxicating. It can make you feel invincible, and that's dangerous because that's when you might be tempted to boast, to put others down, to forget the people who helped you get where you are. I've been blessed with success in my career. But let me tell you, the most important lessons I've learned weren't from my successes. They were from my failures, from the times when things didn't go my way. And one of those lessons is true strength, true character. It's shown not in how you handle failure, but in how you handle success. When you're winning, when you're on top, that's when you need to be the most humble. That's when you need to let your actions speak louder than your words. Because success, it's not a destination, it's a journey. And the moment you start bragging, the moment you start thinking you've made it, that's when you start to fall. So when you achieve something great, resist the urge to shout it from the rooftops. Instead, take a moment of silence. Reflect on the journey that got you there. Think about the people who supported you, who believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself. And then use your success as a platform to lift others up. Now, I'll talk about these 5 situations, but here's the thing. Being silent is not about being passive. It's not about letting life happen to you. No, it's about being strategic. It's about understanding that your words have power, and with that power comes responsibility. Yeah, think of your words like money. You wouldn't just throw your money around, would you? No, you'd be careful with it. You'd invest it wisely. Well, your words are even more valuable than money because once they're out there, you can't take them back. Here's your time. Time to think, time to reflect, time to choose your words carefully in a world that's always rushing, always talking. Silence can be your superpower. And let me tell you, silence can speak volumes. I've been in rooms where the loudest person wasn't the one being heard. It was the quiet one, the one who spoke only when they had something meaningful to say. That's the kind of presence you want to have. Now, I'm not saying you should never speak, far from it. There are times when you need to stand up, speak out, make your voice heard. But those times, they'll have more impact if you've mastered the art of silence. Think about it like this. Every time you choose silence in one of these 5 situations, you're making a deposit in your character bank. You're building trust, you're showing wisdom, you're demonstrating self-control. And over time, those deposits, they add up. They create a reputation, a presence that speaks louder than any words could. But it's not easy. In a world that's always pushing us to share, to post, to comment, choosing silence can feel like swimming against the current. It takes strength, it takes discipline, but that's what separates the good from the great. Earner, life isn't about how much you say, it's about the impact of what you say. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can say is nothing at all. So I challenge, next time you're in one of these 5 situations, when you're angry, when you don't have all the facts, when you're tempted to make excuses, when you're about to gossip, or when you're winning, pause. Take a breath. Choose silence. It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might feel like you're missing out, like you're letting the opportunity slip by. But trust me, that silence is working for you. It's building your character. It's enhancing your reputation. It's making you stronger. And here's the thing. The more you practice this, the easier it gets. It becomes a habit, a reflex. And that's when you'll start to see the real power of silence. You'll notice people starting to listen more when you do speak. You'll find yourself making better decisions because you're not reacting on impulse. You'll see your relationships improve because you're not saying things you'll regret later. It's not just about what silence prevents, it's also about what it creates. In those moments of silence, you create space for reflection, for growth, for understanding. You create an opportunity to really hear others, to empathize, to connect on a deeper level. In a world that's so divided, where everyone's shouting to be heard, that ability to listen, to truly hear and understand others, that's priceless. That's how we bridge divides, how we build understanding, how we make progress. I know what some of you might be thinking. Denzel, this all sounds good, but I've got things to say. I've got opinions. I've got feelings. How can I just stay silent? And I hear you. But here's the thing. Being silent in situations doesn't mean you're suppressing yourself. It doesn't mean you're letting others walk all over you. No, it means you're choosing your moments. It means you're being strategic with your words. Think of it like a game of chess. Every move matters. And sometimes the most powerful move is the one you don't make. The piece you don't move, that's what this silence is. It's a strategic decision to hold back, to wait for the right moment. And when that right moment comes, when you do choose to speak, your words will carry more weight. They'll have more impact. because people will know that when you speak, it's because you have something worth saying. Now let's break this down a bit more. Let's talk about what this silence looks like in practice. When you're angry and you choose silence, what are you really doing? You're giving yourself time to cool down, time to see the situation more clearly. And in that silence, you might just find a solution that you wouldn't have seen in the heat of the moment. When you don't have all the facts and you choose silence, you're showing wisdom. You're admitting that you don't know everything, and that's okay. In that silence, you create an opportunity to learn, to grow, to expand your understanding. Because when you're tempted to make excuses and you choose silence, you're taking responsibility. You're facing your failures head on. And in that silence, you find the strength to improve, to do better next time. When you're about to gossip and you choose silence, you're protecting your integrity. You're showing that you can be trusted. And in that silence, you build stronger, more authentic relationships. And when you're winning, when you choose silence, you're showing true strength. You're letting your actions speak louder than your words. And in that silence, you inspire others, not through what you say, but through who you are. But here's the kiss. Your silence is not passive, it's not weak, it's active, it's a choice. Every time you choose silence in one of these situations, you're flexing a muscle, you're building strength. Like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as that muscle gets stronger, you'll find yourself handling situations with more grace, with more wisdom. You'll find yourself becoming the kind of person others look up to, the kind of person others trust. But it's not just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. Every time you choose silence when it would be easier to speak, you're proving something to yourself. You're proving that you have self-control, that you have wisdom, that you have strength. And that self-respect, that confidence in your own ability to handle difficult situations, that's priceless. It's the foundation of true success, of true happiness. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. It's not. There will be times when you slip up, times when you speak, when you should have stayed silent. And that's okay. We're all human. We all make mistakes. The key is not to beat yourself up when you slip. Instead, use it as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, why did I speak? What was I feeling? What can I do differently next time? And then move forward. Just this journey of mastering silence is not about perfection. It's about progress. And here's the beautiful thing. As you practice this, you get better at choosing silence in these 5 situations. You'll find that it starts to spill over into other areas of your life. You'll find yourself becoming more patient, more understanding. You'll find yourself making better decisions, building stronger relationships. This is true. The ability to be silent, to really listen, to think before you speak is rare. In a world where everyone's clamoring to be heard, where social media has given everyone a platform to broadcast their every thought, the person who knows when to be silent stands out. They're the ones people turn to for advice. They're the ones people trust with their secrets. They're the ones who, when they do speak, everyone listens to. And isn't that what we all want? To be heard, to be respected, to make a difference? Well, mastering the art of silence in these 5 situations, that's how you get there. Practice this, make it a habit. The next time you're in one of these situations, when you're angry, when you don't have all the facts, when you're tempted to make excuses, when you're about to gossip, or when you're winning, pause. I take a breath. Choose silence. It won't be easy at first. You might feel like you're missing out, like you're letting opportunities slip by. But trust the process. Because each time you choose silence, you're investing in yourself. You're building a foundation of wisdom, of strength, of character. And over time, you start to see the results. You'll see it in the way people respond to you. You'll see it in the quality of your relationships. You'll see it in the opportunities that come your way. Spirits. But most importantly, you'll see it in yourself. You'll see it in the way you handle challenges, in the way you approach problems, in the way you interact with others. You'll see yourself becoming the kind of person you've always admired, the kind of person you've always wanted to be. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not just about being silent in 5 situations. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about living a life of purpose, a life of impact. And it all starts with a choice. A choice to be silent when it would be easier to speak. A choice to listen when it would be easier to talk. a choice to reflect when it would be easier to react. So as you leave here today, I want you to remember this. Your words have power. They can build up or tear down. They can heal or hurt. They can inspire or discourage you. And with that power comes responsibility. Use your words wisely. Choose them carefully, and sometimes choose not to use them at all. Because in those moments of silence, that's where true strength is found. That's where wisdom is born. That's where character is built. And that, my friends, is how you make a real difference in this world. Not through grand speeches or bold proclamations, but through the quiet strength of knowing when to speak and when to be silent. Else to go out there, face the world, and remember, in anger and ignorance and failure, in gossip and in success, choose silence. Let your character speak for itself. Let your actions be your voice, and watch as the world responds. Because in the end, it's not about how much you say. It's about the impact of what you say. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can say is nothing at all.